but the Minister of Finance is only an employee of the parties holding the wheel of government. If the creditors of the state debts were to get hold of the wheel, would they then become enthusiastic, like the Minister of Finance, for the reduction of the interest burdens? Wouldn't they say, on the contrary, that would suit our debtors, the Bavarian taxpayers, to lower the interest rate? But what about us? Hold the man who discovered the interest germ, break his magic wand, throw him in jail. The state? We are the state, the creditors. The Minister of Finance must receive condemnation. You see, gentlemen, it is not so easy for you to judge here and to pronounce judgment without prejudice as attorneys of an indebted people's state. It is impossible for you to judge for both Shylock and his debtors. But what is still more insane, in the face of this contradictory situation, is that you cannot even remain neutral. I attack interest effectively. I have discovered the vulnerable heel of capital. If you condemn me, then Shylock will be able to repeat his charge. This is the foolish fellow who lent out money without interest. Watch him, jailer. Merchant of Venice. All stock jobbers and usurers, protectionists and parasites will acclaim you enthusiastically, and you will not be able to forbear the shoulder clapping of the mob. But if you find me innocent, then you take the side of the finance minister, of the taxpayers, of the dispossessed workers, of the peasants. Moses, Lycurgus, Pythagoras, Licinius, and the patriarchs will understandingly nod to you, turn over once more in their graves, and now, at last, find eternal rest. How difficult it is made sometimes for the judges to remain impartial. I have thought the case over, and I have come to the following conclusion. The fight is for or against interest, or what amounts to the same thing. The fight is against me as the living embodiment of my new theory of interest. The matter has not yet been decided in the universities. How, then, can it be determined in this court? If you abstract the doctrine of interest in this case, nothing remains but a little heap of ashes, in which the state attorney can have little concern. Will you attempt to pronounce judgment here on an economic doctrine? Remember the evidence of Brentano. My doctrine of interest is not only the fruit of scientific investigation, it is the test of intellectual and moral integrity. For so long as there are men willing to live on the work of others by means of interest. Interest is a pronounced political poison, a contagious substance of the most dangerous kind. And therefore, I want to advise you, gentlemen, that in order to avert damage to our courts of justice, keep away from this poison. Do not carry it into the courts. Do not touch Silvio Gesell. For you, as judges, he is untouchable, leprous. Every judge who seizes this man contaminates himself and his entire profession. Out of the courts with the theory of interest. Hands off, Silvio Gesell.